So I've about had it with this coronavirus bullshit for multiple reasons. If social distancing is working if it is to slow the spread or stop the spread of the virus, does herd immunity still not apply? So we're just prolonging over time. I get that. So we can have more hospital beds. But this is not about that. This is about control. I was in the office and a coworker comes in there and she's like, you know what they're saying, that this shutdown, this is going to last longer than another month or two. In fact, social distancing is going to be a thing from here on out. Who the fuck's telling you that? Who is dictating to you that social distancing has to be a part of your life for the rest of life? Who? Government? Who's your God? My Christian God says I can do whatever I want. My Christian God doesn't tell me that I can't go somewhere, that businesses have to be shut down. Who is your God? And Christians, you need to wake up. You need to ask yourself, who is your God? Is it Jesus? Is it the Christian God that founded this country? Or is it a communist socialist government that is in right now trying to overthrow life as we know it? When as Americans did we become so complacent to be told what to do? When did we decide to give up freedoms to be safe? Our founding fathers warned over and over and over about this. You cannot have both. And it is worse to be safe and not free. It is far better to be free and make your own decisions and risk everything that can happen to you in life. There's always going to be something that can kill you. There's always going to be a virus. This virus is very weak compared to ones that have rocked the human population in the past. So I'm going to ask you guys again, who is your God? And who do you want to be your God? Christians, we have to step up. Even if you're not Christian, who do you want to be your God? Everyone has a God. Even if you're atheist, your God is nothing. Because the fact that you believe in nothing dictates everything you do in your life. It is the fundamental thing that causes you to make decisions. So who's your God? Do you want your God, even if it's not really a God to you, so to speak, to be a government? Or do you want to be the Christian God that says, be who you are and be free? Your rights come from me, a creator that loves you. Businesses, I work for a very big business, a huge company, and so thankfully I'm still getting a paycheck. But I'll say this about that. The essential employee thing is another thing that pisses me off, because I'm not going to include medical people, because when you get into that profession, you know what you're signing up for. And you know you're going to be working in situations where you could die from it. That's just part of going into that. I've been told I'm essential. Essential what? If this was really as bad as it was, my company said, go ahead and come in. I'm more expendable than anything else, okay? That's how it feels. Because if this was real, I work in the commerce change, the trucking industry, so I come in contact with people from a couple states over. So they would be transported so fast, it would wipe us out first, okay? And I still have yet to know of anyone officially where I worked that has got it. I keep hearing of people that have, somebody, but I've heard more from people, my coworkers, of someone they know, someone died, and they had something that was already terminal, but then they labeled it coronavirus. I've heard more about that than actually someone getting super sick from corona. And another reason you know this is about control and not this virus is they have come out with, there are ways to help with it, help cure it, help fix it, and let people survive. And then you still have the media out there like, nah, let's not use that. So this is all about control, and it really pisses me off, and I kind of got sidetracked there a little bit. Again, back to the essential. Who deems I'm essential? My company that I work for should have stood up and said, listen, this is not the American way. We are not going to keep transporting what we can transport unless you allow everybody to be free and to open their business. It should have been a personal choice. If you are uncomfortable or you're at risk, you should have been able to say, hey guys, put up notes, I'm shutting down my business during this time until this clears up because I'm at risk, whatever. Or you should, if I'm an at-risk person for whatever reason, I should be able to tell my employer, hey, I don't feel safe, I'm gonna stay home without repercussions. But this should never have came down from the government to say you have to shut down, you guys are essential, you can work. Because when does this end? This is another slippery slope. When are people gonna get these slippery slopes? They're getting steeper and steeper. We're going quicker and quicker towards socialism and communism, towards just flat out Satanism, pure evilness in this country. So what I'm saying is, we should never allow this to happen. The government does not deem who's essential. God deems who's essential. And God loves us all. He created each one of us. We are essential, each one of us. And whatever we want to do in this life is essential since God gave us the right and He created us. So, this is bullshit. This is just straight up bullshit, and it's about control. I would take, again, it should have came down to, I'm just going to reiterate this, the business or the person deciding whether or not to be open in this, whether or not to risk their safety. We don't need a government official coming in and saying, oh, we got you. Hold on, you'll be safe when you go inside. No, this is what's happening right here. And then you hear people say, well, be thankful that you're working. Be thankful that you got the stimulus check. It's not really stimulus, first off. I could rant on that too. That is straight up my money coming back to me that was stolen from me. There's a huge difference. When my money goes to someone else to bail them out, that's more of a stimulus. This is a refund. This is someone, the income tax needs to be abolished. That's a whole nother thing though. Okay, so I kind of lost my train of thought, so this might cut and jump to something else. I really don't know. I was talking about the income tax, or the stimulus checks. The stimulus checks are conditioning also for socialism and communism. This is the equivalent of this. The equivalent of this is like, well, number one, they want to get rid of the middle class. They've been going in this for a long, long time. That's why they passed a bunch of big stimuluses to further gap that. You remember when $1 million was a lot, and then $1 billion was a lot? Well, that's not even a lot anymore. We're trillions of dollars in debt. Do you know how exponential that stacks? So this is about eliminating the middle class, having a super elite group, and then everyone poor where they distribute money. The equivalent of what's going on right now when they say be thankful, here's $1,200. Here, take some money, get used to it. Get used to being at home. We'll feed you, which they won't. Just like they lied about how long they're gonna put us on this lockdown. Oh, don't worry, it's only 2 weeks. Oh, 4 weeks. Some people are now saying 2 years. Are you kidding me? And then we can be shut down at any time. This is a crock of shit. That's what this is. Okay, what I've been trying to say is what is happening with the be thankful for what you're getting. What is happening is let's say America's your awesome house. Okay, you're in your house. You have this big ass buffet. You prepped it. You earned it. You worked for it. You got it all, right? You're sitting there eating, chowing down. You're in great physical health. That's you. That's us. That's America. Okay. Then some assholes come in. Some communist. I'm really, and I know it doesn't seem like, but I'm really trying not to swear here. Some communist mofos come in, knock your ass out, okay? Sit down, eat all your shit, wake you up, they beat the shit out of you some more, okay? And still, some people are still in a stupor why this is happening, but beat the shit out of you. Then when they got you chained, you can't move, and they're gonna be like, you're gonna be my little biatch. They say, but here, let me get you. You're bleeding, you have broken bones, you're hungry as shit now. Here, look at this food I have, which, again, let me remind you, was your food. You prepped it, and you made it, you earned it, and they say, oh, but here's some scraps, here's some crumbs, enjoy. And then here's a Band-Aid for those wounds. Look, how did you do this? Here you go. And people are like, thank you, government. Nah, no, that's what we need. That's when people need, these people that are doing this, I pray to God, and I pray every day to Jesus Christ. I pray to the Christian God. And I say Christian, the reason I'm clarifying that is because we live in a society where you hear people say, oh, well, I pray to God or I believe in God. What God? What God? Nowadays you don't know. There's so many evil Satanists in this country. When they say God, they're probably talking about Satan. And then you just like, oh, okay. You use your own internal biases, how you see the world, to immediately think, oh, they're talking about the Christian God because I live in a Christian nation. Even though people don't necessarily embrace that and don't fully realize all the beautiful things that have come from this Christian nation, and that's what makes it great, they think that's who they're talking about. No, these people are talking about evil-ass Satan, okay? So People, wake up. That's all I can say. You have to think a bigger box. You have to understand this is just beyond a virus. And I'm not debating whether or not the virus is real. I think the virus is real. Let me get that right, okay? So, but this is beyond that. This is a grand scale. Wake up. Do you want your kids? Do you want to have a future? Do you want your kids to be able to have a future? Do you want to be free? Who do you want to be your God? I want the Christian God. I don't need a government to tell me what to do. Wake up.